Aloha guys, this is Joyce from Joyce Scrappin' 2, and today I'm making a card for the Tupelo Designs LLC, and I'm going to be featuring this Altenew vintage roses. So this is one of those stamps that you layer on top of each other, just like the butterflies that I shared with you last time. And again, there's all of these different images that stack on top of each other to create this really painterly, beautiful rose. And I mean, there's a lot of images jam-packed in this set. And this is also the larger sets. It's not the normal 4x6. This is a lot bigger. And there's so many different images over here. So just to kind of give you an idea, I kind of again stamped them out. So this would be like the first layer, second layer, third layer, like so, and I combined them together to kind of give you an idea of how they would layer on top of each other. And so today's card is kind of simple, and I'm only using this rose right here and this, and then a couple of the leaves. So you can see right here that I have these green things on top of it, and that's because I made a mask because I want to layer the roses on top of each other, so then you're going to need a mask. So what you do is you can use, I use the Inkadinkado masking paper, and you can just stamp on these and then cut it out. And there's a lot in here. I think there's like 12, and this is a really good price. Yeah, 12 sheets. So you can use this and make your mask, or you can even use a Post-it notes and again cut it out, stamp it and cut it out, and that'll be your mask. But the Inkadinkado masking paper, it's kind of like the sticky part of the Post-its that is all sticky all around. So you're going to be able to use this for a while until the sticky goes away. Anyway, so let's get started. So today's card, I have a lot of layers. Okay, so this is going to be like a triple layer card that I'm going to be making. So I'm going to give you some measurements. So as you can see, some of them are stitched because I cut using my favorite things, stitched stackables. And for these two, I used the die. So I used the die. So I used the largest one, and then I skipped one and I cut the third one, and that gave me these two, like so. Okay, but the larger one here, I cut using the Simon Says stamp stackables, or even my favorite, Mama Elephant's fem frame die is about the same size. So you could do that, or I can give you the measurements that you can cut. So going to separate it to give you the measurements here. So this measurement, the largest one, is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I know it's kind of like a off measurement, but that's what these cut, so I just kept it as is. The second one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. The smallest one is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. And then the blacks, the larger one is 4 by 5 1/4. That'll give you just enough border for the A2 size card. And then the second one is going to be 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. The smaller one is going to be 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so we have two sets like so. And I also have our card base here. This is Nina Solar White, but this is 100 pound. You can tell that it's very thick. So there's 80 pound and 100 pound. Today I'm using the 100 pound as my card base. dropping everything. So I'm going to score this in half, which is going to be 4 1/4. Okay, and then after you score, you always want to fold the other way. Otherwise, it's going to crack. The cardstocks, especially the thicker ones, it's kind of funny that you have to kind of do it the other way. Otherwise, the cardstock will crack because of the thickness. So you want to score it this way and then fold it the other way. Okay, so I have my card base ready. Going to put that off to the side for now. And then we have these pieces. What are we going to do with these pieces? I'm going to stamp the roses on it, but I want to layer it. So I'm just eyeballing it. You could totally like measure it and make it like perfectly measured, but I'm just going to eyeball it. I kind of want it in the center, like try to make sure that it's kind of even out. And then I'm going to, you can put a washi tape to hold it down, or you can put repositionable adhesive on the back so that it'll stay together. I have this micro pour tape here, and I'm just going to, I kind of moved it. I want it kind of centered. Okay, so I'm going to just tape them together because I'm going to stamp from the top left corner coming down. So again, to get a better impression, you can use a mouse pad, or you can use a stamping pad, and that'll just kind of give you a little bit more cushion so that you can get an even image. Okay, and then I'm going to use my mini distress inks just because it's so much easier, especially because my desk isn't that big. So I'm going to use, I have everything mounted here already. You're going to need a lot of blocks to kind of do this because of the fact that there's a lot of layers. And as you can see right here, the photopolymer clear stamps are the top quality clear stamps, and they will stain, but it's not going to affect the stamp at all. It's going to stain because they're good quality photopolymer. Okay guys, so let's speed this up a little. So I'm going to be stamping the roses in 3 colors: Sponge Sugar, Worn Lipstick, and Festive Berries. So I want it kind of, I decided that I want it to be kind of on the left top corner coming down, but later on I changed my mind after I finished stamping the images. So here I have the Sponge Sugar, and you want to kind of press firmly because you are stamping over 3 cardstocks. So next I'm going to go with the Worn Lipstick. That would be the middle. And then I kind of can't see right above, so I can't match it up, so I bring it a little bit closer to me. Sorry about that. And so there is our middle shading. And the last shading is going to be done with Pickled Raspberry. So I'm going to repeat this step with the flowers and the leaves, and that's why we needed the mask. because when you stamp the other flower right next to the flower, existing flower, it's going to overlap a little. So if you put the mask there, then the flower that you stamp on top of that will look like it's behind the first flower. So the second flower, I'm also stamping it in the same color. So all the roses are going to be in the same color. So spun sugar, worn lipstick, and festive berries. And I'm going to do a leaf, couple leaves with you, and then I'm going to go off camera and stamp the rest, because this step kind of takes a little bit longer because you're masking off a lot of different flowers and leaves, and so it kind of took some time, not like a whole lot, but it's tedious. So you can cut a multiple of the same design, then it would go a little faster. But at this point in time, I kind of didn't know what I was going for. And by doing this with the mask, you can basically just stamp it random and it'll still look nice. That's a great thing about these Altenew stamps, is that you don't really have to do much and they just come out beautiful because of the way the stamp it was designed. So for the leaves, I used shabby shutters, peeled paint, and forest moss. So you can do a lot of different techniques and designs, and you can even kind of do it with like a watercolor look if you want. There's a lot of different options. And there's so many different flowers. So you can just make like a whole bunch of roses. Okay, so I came back after I finished stamping, and it was originally like that where the roses were on top, but I changed my mind. I decided to have it this way instead. And I am going to stamp the sentiment, and I'm stamping Happy Wedding. That's on this stamp set because I made this video on Saturday, and Saturday was my husband and I, it was our wedding anniversary. So I decided that I was going to just make kind of like anniversary type. There is another sentiment that does say happy anniversary, but it was too long to fit on that panel, so I chose the happy wedding, and it is so beautiful, the script, the handwritten script. So I stamped it out using Versamark, and I prepped the card base first with the EK Success powder tool, and I just put clear embossing powder over the pigment ink. So I used the VersaFine Onyx pigment ink, and I felt like the top was kind of missing something. So I got out the painted butterfly here, and I'm going to stamp one butterfly kind of right above the sentiment. And I'm only going to stamp the lined image, the small butterfly which is lined. stamping it in the same pigment ink, and I put clear embossing powder and embossed it again using my Milwaukee heat gun, which is pretty awesome because it heats up really fast, so there's less warping. And then now that this is done, we're going to take off the micropore tape and we're going to put the cards together. And of course you can save those masking papers that you cut out for next time you can use. So I'm going to adhere this panel to the black panel right here. And it gives a very slight border. That's what I wanted. It's almost like a 1/16 of a border, very tiny. And I'm going to attach all the white pieces to the black. So I think now you kind of know what I'm going with this card. And then the last one. So all the supplies that I used on this card can be found in the descriptions below, both on my YouTube channel and in my blog. So that's the way it's going to look. So I'm attaching the largest panel straight onto my card base, making sure it's the right way. And then the last two pieces, I'm going to put foam adhesive to pop it up. So this is a very simple design that kind of is like a wow, in my opinion. So now you know why I needed all the images to kind of line up, because this is like a 3-layer stamping. So I think that looks really nice. And I couldn't just stop here. I had to add some sequins. I initially was going to add the gold, but then I decided not to, and I grabbed my clear iridescent sequins as well. But I changed my mind again, and I decided to put pearls instead. So the pearls that I have are loose pearls. I like to use the loose pearls because I use it for many different projects. So I have all different sizes of the loose pearls. And I'm going to attach the loose pearls with my Tombow Mono multi-glue using this stick it tool, or the silhouette, the pick me up tool. But for me, sometimes I have trouble using that because the ends are too sticky and it doesn't it doesn't come off. But at the end it does have a little stick that pops out, but because these pearls were round, it was harder for me to kind of use the tool at the end because it would kind of slide off. And so this basically finishes off my card for today. I just wanted to kind of share with